Alright y'all, so this is my second video. For this video, I wanted to help people with their goals on either how to lose weight or start gaining muscle. Originally this video was just supposed to help people, lose the weight, but I heard some of my friends who wanna, bulk, they wanna learn how to do that correctly, so I figured I'd throw this in with that too. Okay, so for 5 months, I've been on a weight loss journey to get my body right for the summertime, trying locking on the gym. I've gone down from 230 to 185, and I really want this video to help those who want to start their own journey. I know for me, when I started, it was kind of confusing seeing all this new literature about what you should and shouldn't do, and some of it kind of contradicted itself, so I really want this video to hopefully simplify it down for y'all to easy steps you can take to make it more of a lifestyle and habit choices, rather than just jumping full into it and not being able to commit due to time constraints or being it too much of a push. So the first thing you should learn is what your BMR is. Your BMR is the amount of calories you burn if you were to basically sleep all day. This would be how many calories you burn. After that, you want to find how much you burn in your daily life. This depends on your activity level, so how often you work out. The more you work out, the more your body needs to run basic functions. Now, after you find out both of these things, a good rule of thumb for when you're going to go on a cut is subtract 500 from that, and that is what you should be eating every day to make sure you're losing weight. While for bulking, it's the opposite. You would want to add 500. Now, you may be asking, why should I be doing this? I would say this can be very important. I would say really crucial actually to how you want to start a diet, depending on your goal of cutting or bulking, because when you don't know this information, basically just playing a guessing game of how should I eat in a day or how many calories I need, which in my experience has made the process a lot more harder because it creates a lot more mental fatigue of if I'm eating correctly or do I have to stop eating for the rest of the day. I would say this helps you a lot because you get to learn how many calories you can eat in a day, making sure you stay consistent. Now, why I personally recommend you include some level of fitness in your own personal life is the potential risk of only dieting. Dieting is a great tool to have, and it does most of the heavy lifting. Dieting is what's most important to losing weight. But humanity did not evolve to lose fat. As a matter of fact, your body loves to keep the fat with you because that's what keeps it alive. You need fat in your lives, no matter what anyone will tell you. So, what happens is what leads to the term skinny fat. When you start losing weight, but your body starts to lose more of the muscle than it does the fat. To avoid this, the problem, you simply have to just send a signal to your body that goes, hey, we need to keep that muscle because we're using it. This can easily be done with some calisthenics or some home resistance equipment, dumbbells, and just doing a couple minutes, ideally 20 minutes of working out the muscle. Now for my guys or girls who's trying to gain muscle and start bulking, this needs to be done because without it, you're just going to gain all that fat without building muscle. Alright, so I feel like this is probably going to be one of the biggest things to keep in mind when starting a new lifestyle routine or just incorporating some of these habits. A good rule of thumb is always starting then less than what you expect to do. For example, if you want to start dieting, instead of saying you'll have no more of this, instead I'll just have this amount for this day. This gives you more leeway because you're not fully kicking it out, you're just letting yourself have more control over it. I feel, in my opinion, once you start dealing in absolute, saying I will never do this again, I won't eat this for the rest of my life, the diet starts to really hurt you because you just always think about, oh, I want this right now, ooh, that sounds good. So I really suggest just taking it one step at a time and just always start less than what you want to do. I would say this can be applied to the gym too. Instead of saying, oh, I'm going to work out 5 times a week, I'm going to lock in this summer, you're going to see me in the gym every day. Just do it once a week. It helps build the habit, it helps keep you consistent as it's less of a demand to yourself, so that way you stay more motivated. Honestly, in my opinion, the best routine is a routine you stay in touch with. You don't gotta be David Goggins to lose the weight. Consistency is better than having one really good day. Okay, so the last thing you should get, and this is just to help you track where you're going, like if this is working for me or if there's something I need to change for my own personal stuff. I would say the first thing you should get is a scale to measure your weight. I know this isn't something typically you want to see when you're first starting out because the number just seems so daunting. But to make it easier, I would say just weigh yourself once a week. Typically, you would want to do this in the morning. You know, your body's had enough time to digest all the food. You aren't eating anything in the moment, and that way you see. To make it more mentally easy, you could do it just once a week on a Monday or Friday, depending on whichever day you want. And just weigh yourself and keep a log of how much you weigh so that way you see if your weight is going down. Secondly, I would get a calorie tracker app. I will put all the stuff I recommend in the description below so that way you can access this. You can get a calorie tracker app on your phone so it can alleviate the pressure of trying to estimate how many calories you have left in a day. Third, invest in a food scale. A food scale simply measures how much the food weighs in grams. This can be especially useful for people on a cut, as you want to make sure you're eating exactly how much you should be eating and you're getting what you think what you actually do get. Fourth, this is completely optional, but for those who have a hard time getting your protein, your carbs, what you usually lack, I would say get a supplement. I will recommend some protein supplements down in the description below so that way you can have a selection. This can be really helpful as without enough protein, the gains you'll make won't be as nearly as good as it could be. Now, I know for some people this still isn't something they worry about. Like, I know not everyone here is trying to gain muscle, but even on a cut, this is especially important because again, your body does typically want to lose muscle before it loses the fat. This makes it even easier for your body to keep the muscle. Alright, so last thing, if anyone wants to contact me so that way they can get like a specific plan because they have a specific goal in mind, like a certain physique they want, something they want to achieve in X amount of time, but want it to be more specific, you can contact me on my Instagram. My Instagram is Mr. Fine Young Man. I'll have it somewhere displayed on here so that way y'all can just see it. I'll also have it in my description below.